Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the Map Mysteries, and I'm so glad you could join me today. Now, we've all seen maps, right? Those big, colorful things with all the lines drawn on them, telling us where one country ends and another begins. It all seems so simple, so organized. But what happens when those lines, drawn by some guys with a ruler and a stiff, drink 100 years ago, crash into real everyday life? Well, that's when things get weird and hilarious, and sometimes just plain confusing. Today, we're going on a journey to find the world's strangest, most bizarre borders. I'm talking about places where you can literally have one foot in Belgium and the other in the Netherlands, inside your own living room. We're going to visit a town where the public library is in two countries at once, so you have to be careful which side you sneeze on. We'll even find a piece of land that nobody, and I mean nobody, actually wants. All right, let's kick things off in Europe, in a place that makes absolutely no sense. Welcome to the twin towns of Baarle-Hertog in Belgium and Baarle-Nassau in the Netherlands. Now you might think a border between two friendly European countries would be a simple line down a road. Oh, you sweet, innocent summer child. No. Here, the border is less of a line and more of a Jackson Pollock painting. It's a chaotic mess of 22 Belgian enclaves inside the Netherlands and 8 Dutch counter-enclaves inside those Belgian enclaves. It's like a Russian nesting doll of bureaucracy. Imagine this. You're living your life. You go to buy some milk, and the border runs right through the middle of the supermarket. The butter is in Belgium, but the cheese is in the Netherlands. Your front door could be in one country and your back door in another. There are houses where the border line, marked by white crosses on the pavement, literally splits the dining room table. Which country's laws apply? It used to depend on where your front door was. People would literally move their front door to get a better tax rate. You have to respect the hustle. It's international tax evasion, but with home renovations. From a border, you can't cross to a border, you can't stop crossing, even if you're just trying to read a book. Now let's head somewhere a little colder and a lot more politically charged. We're going to the Bering Strait, two tiny islands called the Diomede Islands. On one side, Little Diomede, USA. Population, about 80 people. On the other side, just 2.4 miles away, Big Diomede, Russia. Population, 0, except some military personnel. 2.4 miles is nothing. On a clear day, you can see one island from the other. You could probably shout across, and your Russian neighbor would hear you. But here's the kicker. Separating these islands is not just water, it's the international date line. Big Diomede is 21 hours ahead of Little Diomede, so when it's 9 a.m. Saturday on the American side, it's 6 a.m. Sunday on the Russian side. You can stand in America and look across the water at tomorrow. Imagine the conversations. Hey Ivan, how's the future? It's cold, and the government is still the government. This border is nicknamed the Ice Curtain, a remnant of the Cold War, and it's the world's greatest excuse for being late. Sorry I'm a day late, I took a wrong turn at the international date line. Let's head back to North America for a real head-scratcher. This is a place that belongs to the United States, but you can't get there from the United States without a boat, a plane, or a passport. Meet Point Roberts, Washington. Usually, countries fight over land. They draw lines, build walls, and, well, go to war over who owns what. But now, we go to a place so unwanted, it's actually the loneliest piece of desert on Earth. Welcome to Bir Tawil. It's a patch of land, about 800 square miles, kind of squished between Egypt and Sudan. And here's the twist. Neither Egypt nor Sudan wants it. It's a geopolitical hot potato. Why? It all goes back to colonial map drawing. The British drew two different borders in 1899 and 1902. Egypt recognizes the 1899 border, which gives them the valuable Hala-Ib Triangle, but puts Bir Tawil in Sudan. Sudan prefers the 1902 border, which gives them the Hala-Ib Triangle and puts Bir Tawil in Egypt. Since both countries want the Hala-Ib Triangle, they both have to disown Bir Tawil to strengthen their claim. This has led to a bizarre situation where random people travel there, plant a flag, and declare themselves the king of this barren desert. It's the only place on Earth you can claim a kingdom, and the only response you'll get is a shrug from your potential neighbors. If you thought the Baarle border was confusing, buckle up. Until 2015, there were 102 Indian enclaves in Bangladesh and 71 Bangladeshi enclaves in India. There were 28 counter-enclaves, and then the world's only counter-enclave, Dahala Khagrabari. A piece of Indian land, inside Bangladeshi land, inside Indian land, inside Bangladesh. People there were essentially stateless. They couldn't get services. They couldn't travel. In 2015, India and Bangladesh swapped all the enclaves, simplifying the border and giving citizenship to thousands who'd lived in limbo. Most borders follow posts, fences, walls. But what if your border is on top of the world? Literally. The official border between Nepal and China runs directly through the summit of Mount Everest. So when climbers make that final, exhausting push to the top, they're technically crossing an international border. For years, they even disagreed on the mountain's height, until 2020, when they agreed on 8,848.86 meters. Imagine being a border guard up there. "Excuse me, sir, do you have anything to declare?" "Yeah, I'm about to pass out from lack of oxygen." High-level negotiations indeed. Picture Russia, the biggest country in the world, 11 time zones, and then picture a piece of it stranded in the middle of Europe. That's Kaliningrad, a Russian exclave surrounded by NATO countries. On the Baltic Sea, it's a major strategic headache. To get there by land from Russia, you travel through Belarus and Lithuania. Before W2, it was Germany's Königsberg. After the war, the USSR took it over, and after the USSR collapsed, it was left stranded. Residents are Russian citizens, but daily life is surrounded by the European Union. Like a family reunion where your weird uncle is peering through the window. From the highest border to the smallest, welcome to Vatican City, entirely inside Rome. Its whole border, about 2 miles, is just with Italy. Sometimes a wall, sometimes a white line you can step across. They have their own police, post office, radio station, even their own currency. But to grab a pizza across the street, you leave the country. Now to West Africa, the Gambia, a country whose shape is defined almost entirely by Senegal. It's long, thin, and wiggly, essentially a river corridor with a tiny Atlantic outlet. Its borders were literally set by how far British cannons could project from ships on the river. Over 300 miles long, but only about 15 miles wide at its narrowest. A permanent line drawn for temporary and sometimes ridiculous reasons. And there you have it. From houses split in two, to a patch of desert no one wants, to a border on top of the world. Neat lines on a globe, beautifully complicated on the ground. Which border blew your mind? Library in 2 countries, islands in different days, or the cannonball country? Tell me in the comments.